Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andy Elliott. Welcome to the One Percenter podcast. Guys, we weren't even planning on shooting this podcast. I'm here today with my brother Alex from Spartan Solar. You know, we do a lot of business together. But dude, there's such a good topic and I want to talk about it, all right? So he says to me, he goes, hey Andy, he goes, dude, I notice a lot of people, they keep bringing up the shit from you in the past, right? Like, I'm going to tell you guys, I've been through some crazy stuff. And he goes, dude, can we talk about that? Like, can we talk about that? Because I think a lot of people don't think they're qualified for a good life. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm living proof that I don't care what you've done, what you've been through, what has happened. Dude, your best life starts today. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get into some shit that maybe some of you guys don't know, and we'll just lay it all out.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of present this in more of I'm gonna interview you, ask some questions. Some questions I think everyone is wondering, because you see the shit on Ballbusters, you see the stuff online. I already knew about everything because you've already told me about everything, and you've also talked about everything publicly. And I think just a lot of people have missed those moments when you've talked about what you've gone through in the past, how you should have been in jail, how you changed your life around. You've talked about those moments, but no one has really correlated it probably.
Yeah, maybe they weren't in that room or they weren't a part of that audience,
because they didn't know what it to tie to. But now all this shit's coming out there. Everyone's blowing it out of proportion. Everyone's hitting me up. So I think this is the perfect time to dive in deep and really go to the nitty gritty, because you had a great conversation with Andy Frisella yesterday, you know, going on. And dude, he's obviously a really great guy that cares about you, that wants to talk to you. And it was just an amazing conversation to hear. And that kind of inspired this conversation to take place. But I guess talk us through a little bit of what happened, because it was about 10 years ago when it all went down.
Yeah, so this is super important. So everybody needs to understand this, all right? If you're around the wrong people, okay, bad shit's going to happen in your life. Just that's it, okay? I'm one of these guys that growing up, success to me meant money, okay? Because I was broke, I was poor, 18, I get in sales. What do I want to do? I want to make money. Okay, now listen to me. I've never had a good leader in my life. Even till this day, I've never had a good leader. And I want you to understand something. I'm a good leader because I've only had bad leaders, so I just flipped it and I did the opposite of everything that I was ever taught. Okay, and that's how I figured it out. So some of you that have had a great mentor, dude, take care of that sucker. Okay, but so going through this, I want to make money, I want to make money, I want to make money. Now listen to me. I'm going to give you an analogy. So roofing, right? When you're a roofer, you go to someone's house, it gets hit with a storm, and I'm going to tell you what happened to me in the automotive space. But if you're a roofer, you go to someone's house and get hits in a storm, you say, hey guys, I can see qualifying damage on your roof. Obviously, do you guys have insurance? They say, yeah, I've got insurance. And you say, okay, cool, let us fix that. We'll process the claim so we can help you get a new roof. That's what a roofer does. And you sit down with the customers and you start to realize that they got a $3,000 deductible, right? Well, they're like, we don't have $3,000. I mean, we've paid our insurance premium for 20 years, but we don't have $3,000. And so what happens is these roofing companies will waive, right, the deductible. Now, they don't just say, oh, well, we'll waive it. No, the insurance company needs to see the $3,000 deductible on the contract as if they've paid it, so they fulfilled their part of.
It's a solid deal.
Yeah,
it
fulfills the agreement that, hey, you paid your deductible. Now we're going to pay the $60,000 for the roof.
The insurance does their part.
Yeah, and the insurance does their part. And so I want you to, and I'm not a roofer, but this happens all around the world. By the way, that is insurance fraud. But yet it happens all around the freaking world. It happens in every industry, these little small things. Now, me growing up in the automotive industry, there was this thing where when customers had really bad credit and they couldn't get approved for a car, but they had a good pay stub, or my bad, they could get approved for a car, they had a pay stub, they had a utility bill, they had things where they could, they could buy, but they needed $1,000 cash down. It was like the deal. They needed $1,000 down to be able to have the bank do the loan. Well, so our whole life, I saw dealers many of times. This is just facts. They'll show the money down on a contract. The customer says, "Oh yeah." They tell the bank, "Yeah, I put the money down," and they get to drive a car with their family and they have transportation. They can get to work now, and it's like you're helping these customers get cars and find creative ways to get loans done with the banks. Again, that's fraud. That's against the law. But growing up in the car business, I saw it everywhere. I really didn't think people got in trouble for this.
And you also probably think, and you are at that moment, helping these people get cars they really need.
Well, we were helping them get a car, but I want you to understand something. Dude, I was raised in the car business since I was 18 years old. My everything that I was taught was in the car business at 18 years old. Now, by the way, automobile business is great. Okay, but anybody that's watching this knows that something like this happens. There's some gray area in every industry.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone in every industry at some point did something that broke the law and they could go to jail for it. 99% of the people never get caught. Okay, so that was like car dealership. Like, dude, there's no big deal. If you got in trouble, maybe there's a fine, or I don't know, the bank warned you. Well, the owner that I worked for pissed some people off. Not me. The owner did. He pissed some people off, the wrong people. And those people knew people that had them come after him. So the FBI comes in one day, and they're literally like, dude, you're doing some stuff that's wrong. Now, lots of people were doing stuff wrong, but this store was doing stuff wrong. Now, they're after this guy. And this guy is a bad guy, okay? He is. I was loyal to the wrong person. That's why I started this saying, if you're around the wrong people, you're bound one day to put yourself in a bind. Listen, guys, I should have walked away from this guy a long time ago, but I didn't know. Dude, I know this sounds crazy, but it's 2024, the time we're shooting this podcast. This happened in 2012. This is freaking 12 years ago. Self-development, social media, the era of coaching and training was not around. I didn't even have social media back then. So I couldn't get on and watch Andy Frisella. I couldn't get on and watch Ed Milet. I couldn't get on and watch leadership. Like, dude, like it was get a book, you know? So proximity was really hard for me to connect with people. Right now, you have no excuse in this era to learn what's good for you, who are the right people, and you can plug into great people, just like you can plug into us, okay? But when this all happened and they came in, I realized that I'm like, dude, this is the first time in my life. I'm 32, 33 years old. I'm like, I'm in trouble. And I've never been in trouble. I got a DUI when I was 18 years old, went to jail for one day. Ever since then, never got a speeding ticket, never been in trouble, right? And I was like, oh my God, man. I'm like, I should have walked away from this. But you know how it is. You're making good money, man. You know what I'm saying? You're making $1 million a year. You're making $2 million a year. You're making more than ever. You got 3 kids. You got a wife. You don't want to let them down. It's, you know, this is stuff that people.
You also don't feel like you're causing harm.
I didn't think I was causing harm. I don't know. Well, guess what? Now I knew. Shit got real fast. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. The owner calls everybody in the room. Says really simply, if you guys freaking say, if you guys don't say what I tell you to say, very clearly, just so everybody's aware, you don't say what I tell you to say, I'm gonna kill you. That's it.
And did you think he was serious when he said that?
I know he's serious. Because I know shit he's done before.
Okay.
So I go home, I talk to my wife. This is why I tell you guys, it's really important who you spend your life with. I go home to my wife. She's the smartest woman I ever met, ever since she started breathing life into me at this point. She said, Andy, you're going to tell the truth. Number one, you're a good man. You've never tried to hurt anybody. You've hung out with the wrong people now. You're in trouble. You're going to tell the truth. That's it. The truth will set you free. That's the truth. It says it in the Bible, but it is real as it gets. The truth will set you free. This is finally when I realized in my life that I was going to own everything. So own your shit. I get this. Anything that you've done from this point, it's all your fault, but everything you've been through is getting you ready for what you're about to go through next. So I decided from that day forward, I was going to be around the right people. I was going to make good decisions. I was going to become a better person. Well, now I got to tell the truth. So we go through 6 years. Okay, this case didn't close out till 2019, 2020. I mean, dude, that's what happens when you get in these legal deals.
Yeah.
I started my Elliott Group company in 2019. I mean, it's like our business. We built a 9-figure business in 3 or 4 years. But I needed to be around the wrong people. I needed to do bad shit. I needed to not be a good person. I never meant to hurt anybody. I needed to somebody to just. Dude, if you're in a bad relationship, listen, if you love your wife, but if you have the best wife ever, but you're not good to her, one day she's gonna pack her shit, she's gonna walk to the car. And it's like, oh my God, this is real.
It's a wake up call.
Hold on, wait a minute. At that point, you either change or you lose her, if she'll take you back. I decided that this is my second chance for my 10 millionth time that God was giving me a second chance to really understand that how important this proximity was, being around the right people, making good decisions, and telling the truth. So I went to court. I told the truth. Number one, the guy that told me to say what he wanted me to say,
right.
That guy did try to kill me. The FBI did call me and tell me that someone is trying to kill you.
Did you have guards or anything?
Yeah, bro. Like it's crazy what you go through when you go to change your life. You know, so I got people on the internet, they're like, oh, I read the court reports on this guy. You know, he said they did all this stuff. Yeah, we did a lot of stuff that was bad. But you know when I found out that I was doing wrong stuff? You know when I found out that wasn't the person I needed to be? Ready? Here we go. I changed. I change just like every single one of you can change, just like you can change. Sometimes you just chase money. Yeah. I'm going to tell you this. Honestly, we're in a world right now that teaches you chase money, chase money, chase money, chase money. And we preach in our company, I know as you as a leader too, get it all. Okay? Be good to people. You can make as much as you want. Tell the truth. Be a good leader. Be the example. Be excellent in every area of your life. If you're in a relationship, pour into it. Have the best one ever. If you got kids, pour into it. Be the best dad ever or best mom. If you got a team, like just be excellent, right?
And I think on that note too, when you came in and you told the truth, the fact that Jacqueline was the one who basically said, you're going to tell the truth.
My attorney told me, he goes, you have the best wife in the world. He goes, because most men come in here and they think they're going to do it their way.
They're going to dupe it.
And they end up getting in trouble.
But now everyone else sticks to the story, it sounds like. Everyone else was afraid.
Everyone else,
you tell the truth.
Yeah,
so
everyone else stuck to the story and they went to jail.
I was going to say, I think for a lot of people, they might go, oh man, it sounds like Andy's just a rat. Like he just ratted on these people.
I told the freaking truth.
And he betrayed these people. I feel like some people might bring that up, so I want to hear your side on that.
Well, number one, dude, don't be a traitor to yourself. I didn't betray anybody, okay? I told the truth. I'm going to tell you guys something. Since I was a kid, right, and I was raised poor, at 18 when I started to learn that sales was my way out, leadership was my way out, I was loyal to the wrong leader. I was loyal to a person that never wanted me to have a better marriage. I was loyal to a leader that literally told me, Andy, it's impossible for you to have a good marriage and kick ass at work. Look, you're going to have to choose. I'm just going to be honest with you. You're going to make a lot of money and you're going to hold this position down, right? Or you're going to go home and be the best father and husband. But you got to make a choice. Dude, that's a shitty leader. And for me, I was beat when I was younger. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm 44. I worked out of fear. That makes sense?
Yeah.
You don't do this, I'm going to get rid of your ass. I got 19 other guys waiting on it. And, you know, I had a better life and I've been able to give my family a better life than I ever had, so I'm still operating out of fear. So rule number one, don't be a coward, because I was a coward at that point. I'm gonna own my shit. Do you know why I know how to build cowards? Because I was a coward. You know how I know how to tell people to call their own shots, get their own life, and live the life they want? Because I was getting fucking run over and I was a puss. I'm gonna be honest with you.
What did you do in those years after, you know, everything went down, but there's a gap between that and you starting the Elliott Group? What did you do in those years?
Dude,
that must have been a tough freaking time.
I sold. I just went back to sales.
Okay.
I went back to sales. I didn't want to be in charge of anything because I was so freaking afraid of everything, because I was trying to find my identity. And then until I really started going to the gym and really started spending time with myself, learning that I was worth it. Dude, really the big change, and I know this is like cliche because that's what I do now, but it's probably why I believe in it so much. And I call myself a sales training company, but like I started self-developing. And I bought, in 2018, I bought a course, Dean Graciosi, Russell Brunson, Tony Robbins. It was called the Broker Blueprint. And it was how to put on seminars, how to put on events, and how to teach something. And he goes, dude, everybody knows something. Everybody's good at something. What are you good at? And I was like, I'm good at sales. I mean, I'm like talking to the TV. I'm like, I'm good at sales. And they're like, cool, you need to teach that. Because there's people that aren't good at that and they'll pay you to teach them to get good at that. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna start my own business. Well, so me and my wife, we sold our $1 million house. By the way, we slept on mattresses. We humbled down. We drove $1,500 cars. We went to the gym like crazy. We fell more in love with each other. We got close to our kids. I got mentally tough. I got in really good shape, right? I mean, comparatively to my old life, right? And dude, like I started to believe in me, and then I was self-developing every day. So every day I'm finding a new identity. So I want to tell you guys, and this is the big key thing. I don't give a shit what anyone has done. I really don't. I want to tell you this. Jim Rohn, if you guys like Tony Robbins had a mentor and a trainer, and his name was Jim Rohn.
The GOAT.
And he's the GOAT. And Jim Rohn trained Tony Robbins from 17 years old and said, Tony, it doesn't matter who you are. It matters who you're becoming. That is all that matters. And that is the most beautiful thing with human beings, is that you can make one decision and you can change your life forever. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't take it back. I'm glad I went through all that shit. I'm glad I almost got thrown in jail. I'm glad that I cried with my wife and I told her everything and I said, I'm so stupid. I'm glad that I owned all my shit. I'm glad that I got faced with this adversity. I'm glad my back got against the wall. I'm glad that I made the decision to tell the truth when I could have lied. Mm-hmm. I'm glad. And you know what I realized the whole time? And this is the truth. I was loyal to the wrong person. Okay, some of you right now, you may be in a bad relationship. Dude, husbands hit wives and wives stay with the husband. They're loyal to the wrong person. I stayed in a position where he owned the company and I let it for way too long because I was making money and I would turn a blind eye to stupid shit that he was doing. Okay? Like, I want to tell you guys this. Number one, you don't have to put up with it. Number two, this universe will reward you for becoming a good person. And honestly, because I came from nothing, because I was raised a loser, because, you know, like I had identity. I didn't believe in myself enough to walk out of that company and walk away from it and start something else or go somewhere else.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
the biggest
honestly,
part. You're in that place.
Yeah, dude.
And you
like
don't know what else is out there.
Dude, I'm scared to death.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's why I tell you guys, like, being in this self-development era right now, like, dude, I'm like,
by the way, when you say self-development, you say you worked on developing yourself and you just listed what you watched and you were like, okay, this is something I can train, this is something I could do. What did self-development look like for you on a regular daily basis? Because I think some people don't understand what it actually takes. I know I have sense and I have already bought a ton of whiteboards and there's things you do at your home life. You set a structure around yourself to make things happen where you actually become better. You become a person that's around the right people and there's a reason to be around the right people. I'm going to give you the
formula. 12%. I want you to remember this until you die.
Okay.
100% of your day, 365 days a year, is 24 hours a day, right?
Okay.
Because everybody gets the same 24 hours. If I told you that I could guarantee that if 5 days a week you would give 12% of your day, that I could teach you to outgrow anybody else in your life, would you want to know what to give 12% of your day to?
Yeah.
That's pretty easy. 6%, which is an hour and a half, 5 days a week to the gym. No technology, just time with yourself. Hour and a half, that's 6% of your day. Another 6% of your day to self-development, which is in an hour and a half of self-development. That's 12% of your day. 5 days a week, be consistent. Don't do it here and there. Do it all the time. And I want to tell you, notice I don't do an hour. I don't do 4%. I don't do 8%. I do 12. I need an hour and a half and an hour and a half. I've learned that I can get into training and honestly, an hour I cut it off, right? And there's still more I want to learn. Guys, I want to tell you the secret in life is to out self-develop everyone and to fall in love with learning. You know, right now, you're in a place where every time you're around me, you become addicted to learning more. Yeah. But when you go back home, you got all this work to do. So you go home and you start doing all the work, and what happens is you forget about this development that we're doing here. And this development is what gets you to the next level, and the next level, and the next level. And if you end up just working and you don't end up developing and you don't take care of your body, you're never going to get to that next level, dude. And some guy that makes the time or some gal that makes the time will pass you. And dude, like, here's the craziest shit. You'll fall prey to some weak-ass leader. You'll fall prey to someone who's show instead of real. You'll fall prey to some guy shows up. He's got
show instead of real.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I got a private airplane. You know, I got 20 million cash in the bank. Dude, that doesn't mean...
I got a signing bonus for you, brother.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Because that dude may be show. Dude, listen, I know people that have Ferraris, that have Lamborghinis, that have businesses, that are deaded out, that are barely hanging on by a string. Okay? These people are not liquid. They do not make a lot of money. But it shows and it looks like on social media that they're killing it.
On this note, I want to touch on something because I remember seeing two posts, and I think everyone would be curious about your feedback on this. There was one where they claimed that you used the Jocko Willink post where it was like it was a kettlebell on the ground, there's sweat on the ground, and you're like, get after it, and it's early. Similar to what Jocko does, right? And then there was another post where you had a jet that was branded Elliott Group, right? So it's branded, which in my mind... it was kind of obvious that it wasn't an actual Elliott Group jet. It was like, this is what we're doing. This is the game we're playing. So what is your comment on those two?
This is hilarious. Okay. Number one, the kettlebell deal. And number one, Jocko Willink is a badass. But the kettlebell deal, my brother and me, when we needed in 2019 when we started our business, we made one video.
I think people forget that's when you started your business.
Yeah. Well, we made one video and we took a dumbbell, a kettlebell that was cool, threw some white dust on it in my driveway and took a picture of it because we watch Jocko Willink all the time. Dude, I look up to him. I see people all the time. One time we did it, but the people say, oh, he wants to be like him.
They think it's the same photo. Bro. You took his exact photo, which I don't think really changes anything. But
no, bro, listen, I share people's shit all the time. Are you kidding me?
It's true.
The airplane. This is comical. By the way, they don't show the post. They just screenshot the plane.
Yeah.
I told my brother, I said, we're going to have a private jet one day, and it's going to be badass. And so my brother pulls this jet up, and, you know, he's like,
he's a wizard. Arts and crafts stuff.
Yeah, he's a wizard. He goes, bow, look at that. And so I make this post with the Elliott jet, and I said, manifestation is real. I said, anything you want, you can have. The future looks bright, like Patrick Bet David said. I tagged Patrick Bet David in it. This is 3 years ago. This is 3 years ago, bro.
Yeah. People aren't seeing that.
Someone's got the screenshot of the cropped out plane, but they forgot to put the post in there. What I said, that manifestation is real. And by the way, I could have a private jet now. Now I feel like even though you can have what you want, later on you're like, I don't want one. You can have a Ferrari. You're like, I don't need a Ferrari now. You can have this. You can have anything. Manifestation is real. And you know, our business, by the way, I want to tell you guys something. This is super important. Let the fucking haters hate. When you, just know this, when you decide to break the boundaries of what you used to put on you and what other people put on you, and you move forward to a new life, you're going to get into the crabs in a bucket theory. Every time one tries to climb out, the other one pulls it down. And they do this all day long. And what other people see you doing, and by the way, imagine this. Imagine being a person on social media that all they do is talk bad about other people. Clearly, you're a bad person. Clearly, you don't believe in people are capable of change. People like that are toxic and you don't want to be around them. Those people judge everyone around them, and truly, they're usually the worst people.
Right.
Everybody in this world, Jesus says, sins. I don't know what your sin is. I don't know what your problem is. I don't know what it is. We all have different stuff that we struggle with. We all have different vices, strongholds, and issues. I will tell you, whatever it is, when you forgive yourself and you give yourself permission to have a new life, dude, you become iconic. Most people swim and live and drown in shame. I want to tell you this. When I found out that I was doing wrong, you know what I decided to do? Take my wrong. Okay, in the Bible, the Apostle Paul used to be Saul. Saul was a Christian killer. Saul killed Christians, okay? Changed his life. He became the Apostle Paul. He took the Bible the furthest. Dude, like, I believe in people changing. And by the way, do you want to hang out with people that believe that people have the ability to change? Do you want to, Alex, when you come to me, I'm a leader. I got a big-ass team. You got a big-ass team. When somebody hires onto your team, are you like, dude, listen, I don't care what you did, okay? What I care about is where your heart is. Are you willing to learn? Will you show up and put the work in? And then can you recreate and come better every day? Can you be a better person every day? Yep. Dude, that person that says, yes, I can, and I'm willing to do the work, I believe in this, and I want to change and be a better person. You're the greatest.
The fact that they just believe they can change.
Yes, but you're a great leader now. You're telling people that you're capable of more. I want to share something beautiful that actually inspired me to be a coach, okay? Number one, and this is so freaking important. When I changed, my wife knew my past. My wife knew the mistakes I made. My wife knew I was raised poor. She knew the people I lied to. She knew the people I betrayed. She saw me try to be good to people my whole life. She saw me make decisions with the wrong people. She saw me do all these things. But when I made a decision to change in front of my wife, do you know what my wife said? She goes, number one, I'm never going to get historical with you. I'm never going to bring your past up again. You know why?
That's rare.
Yeah. But I want to tell you guys this real quick, okay? If your wife decides she wants to be a better person, you can never bring up the old her again. Either be all in or be all out, okay?
And by the way, a lot of my relationships that went south was because the historical data that we agreed to
get rid of, they can't get rid of it.
It never could die.
Yes.
And so that, even if I was guilty of it too, it would kill every relationship.
Right.
It kills it.
Well, so what I say is either divorce each other or break up or forgive each other and get close. Dude, my wife, she told me, she goes, I see you as a man that's going to inspire millions of people. She goes, Andy, you're the greatest in the world that sells, influence, persuasion, closing. She goes, you're going to close people that they're worth it. You're going to close people on believing in themselves. That's what you're going to do. And she goes, dude, the fact that you've like had trouble. So our preacher, we look up to, his name's Craig Rochelle. He has the largest church in the world. He started in his garage. Okay? Listen to me. He had sex out of wedlock. He's not a pastor's son, okay? He freaking fought in college, drank beer, gave his life to Jesus.
He's owned his shit.
Gave his life to Jesus and goes, dude, I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
I've been the same thing. I got influenced by the wrong people. I made stupid choices. I was an idiot. And you know what I decided to do? I decided to change. And this guy's a preacher now preaching to millions of people. And they say, yeah, but I know what you did in college, bro. You had sex with that girl. You punched that guy. I saw you get drunk. He goes, dude, I did worse than that. First of all, you understand something about sin. Sin is fun, and especially if you're good at it.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's wrong. And there's always consequences with it. Okay? So that's why we change. And so I'm still not perfect. I'm still going to make mistakes every day. I'm still going to own my shit. But I want to tell anybody is that I am living proof. I am. that you can have any problem happen, whatever it is, and just look in the mirror and say, dude, am I capable of having a better life? Is there more in me? Yeah? Okay, cool. Get around people that believe that there's more in you. I believe there's more in you. I know Alex believes there's more in you. We believe in people. My biggest crutch is that I believe in people too much. Honestly, my wife always says, you think you can change everyone? And I'm like, babe, I can.
It costs you down the line, but it's okay.
Yeah, but you know what? And here's the deal. I want you to know something. I changed this guy's life. I gave him everything I had. And then he betrayed me. And you know what my wife said? My wife goes, I know, babe, but... And she goes, babe, we're just going to love harder. She goes, we're just going to love harder. Who cares? So I want to tell you, Alex, and you can ask anything, but let's do a couple more minutes here. But I want to tell you this. Dude, I've screwed up. I've made the mistakes. But you know who my dad is? My dad's God. You know what that means? He's a powerful son of a bitch, okay? He said that here on earth that we would know what's right, but we would do what's wrong. So what I learned is that we just need to be around good people. When we're in the presence of each other, we don't think about doing bad things.
No.
When we're in the presence of each other, we're always leveling each other up. That's the power of proximity. So every day, two things. Number one, you need to make sure the people you're around are great people. Now listen, if you don't have good people to be around, you're better off being on your own. So you're going to do step two. You're going to plug in, which even if you're around the right people, you're still going to do step two, which is you're going to plug in to great leadership training, great sales training, great self-development every day. Plug in that 6%.
Yeah.
Okay, 6% gym, 6% self-development. Yeah, 12%. Hey, I'm like, dude, hey, you get 100% of a day. Can you give 12% up 5 days a week if I could teach you how to be a multimillionaire? Have the best life ever, have everybody look up to you. Hell yeah. Cool, here's the math. I just gave it to you. 6% in the gym, 6% self-development. It's like this. God gives us everything. He says, tithe 10% back. People are like, I don't want to give 10%. Mm-hmm. You're so dumb, dude. It's like making $100,000 and then saying, well, I don't want to give it up. But then God goes, dude, I was going to give you 50 million.
Yeah.
But I couldn't trust you with $100,000, so I can't trust you with 50 million. See, there's a game to this education. So number one, fall in love with learning. Okay, I'm gonna give you a formula I run by. Spiritual, I got to be close to God. Super important to me. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be perfect. It means at the end of the day, He's the Lord Savior in my life. And I ask for forgiveness and ask Him to forgive me for my sins every single day. And I pray on my family, and I want Him to protect everybody I'm around. Okay, and keep me as a shepherd to people to stay strong. The David against Goliaths. Okay, because we're underdogs. So I always want to be David. I never want to be the Goliath. We crush Goliaths for a living. Okay, it's not about us. Leaders are selfless. We love everyone else. We're all in the team. We do it for the team. You guys are our team. So, so I got the spiritual, and then I got physical, which we got to take care of our mind. We got to take care of our bodies. Okay, if you want to change your life, the biggest radical change you have to change your life is change your body.
Yep.
When you change your body, your life changes radically.
Opens everything up.
Totally crazy. And once you get in this, you get bit by the bug, and you're like, oh my God, I got to work out every day, right? Okay. Second, and then thirdly, so you got the spiritual, you got the physical, and now you got the mental part. When you're right here, you're right there.
Yes.
Yeah. When you like you, it's really hard for you to fall prey to like stupid shit, right? Because my stuff's sharp here. Right? Because you spent that 6% in the gym, that hour and a half. So you got spiritual, physical, mental, and then lastly, whatever you choose to do in business, whatever your job is, like you'll become the top 1%, dude, because you're just whole. You're just fulfilled. And it's like, dude, that's how you get it all.
Yeah, I think some people miss that point. There's two things. One, right now, especially with social media and the internet and the way everything operates, historical data and historical cases, anything that's happened in someone's past. We saw with Kevin Hart, right? Something he tweeted took him away from speaking at the Oscars, right? Or hosting the Oscars, which was his life dream. From something 12 years ago when times were different. Historical data is held against anyone and everyone, and for anyone to do it to anyone else is a shame, because someone else, once they get big enough, will do it to them. But they don't realize that cycle is always going to continue, and there's no changing it. There's always going to be something.
Haters
in your past.
are just people that hate themselves, and they see you doing stuff that they wish they could do, and they don't like that. At the end of the day, I want you to understand this. Everyone that's ever hated on you, those people that posted that shit on me, dude, they see us killing it. They see us changing people's lives. They see us doing good work.
That's when they attack, though.
Yeah,
that's when that moment comes.
Because they're not growing anymore.
But it's good because we get to actually clear it all up and actually talk about it.
Oh my God, I love this. This is great.
I love this too.
Dude, 95% of the world's lost.
Yeah.
When we shot this message, we didn't shoot it for the righteous and the rich.
Yeah.
We shot it for the poor, or we shot it for the lost. We shot it for the betrayed. We shot it for the people that are sitting in shame. They go, no, you know what, man? I'm going to go get it
It's not for the people that talk about them being themselves being perfect.
Jesus came for the sick.
Yeah.
Jesus came for the sick. This is not a sermon, but Jesus came for the sick, okay, and the lost, not the righteous. The righteous, the healthy don't need a doctor. Okay, guys like me and you, we had to learn after being sick what it feels like to be sick, so now we can relate with sick people. If you had cancer and someone else came up to you and they go, I have cancer, you're like, dude, I know what you're going through.
Right.
But if you've never had cancer and you go talk to someone else that got cancer, you can be like, oh, dude, I'm sorry, man. You have no clue what they're going through. So you can't even help them. You know why I can help so many people? Because I did it all wrong. And now, when I see people that have cancer, I'm like, dude, me too. Cool, but I beat it. Okay, you're gonna beat it too, and that's all we do, man. That's the good word. That's what we do. But let's kill this out. I'm glad that we got a chance to talk about shit that most people are afraid of. Here's the deal. He was right here with me for an hour and a half yesterday on the phone. You know what he said? He goes, dude, the shit you're doing is fucking life changing. Don't you stop. Keep going. He goes, dude, you own your shit, which I've always owned it. He goes, you own it, and that way other people out there, no matter what they did, they can own their shit and they can go get their best life. Keep it up, man. I love that. These haters, they don't know nothing. They blame everything on everyone else. They're freaking losers. Who cares? You know, one day, hopefully you'll inspire them enough for them to come out and change.
Which was amazing we had that, and you had that conversation, because you've already been owning your shit, but the very next day, what are you doing with the advice you got from Andy? Because he's your freaking mentor.
I'm like, we got to bring it out again.
Next day, we're hitting it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you're listening to a mentor. You've already done this, but you're listening to, we're hammering it right away. But thank God for people like that in your life.
Yeah.
Like, that's an incredible person to be able to be close to that can give you the advice in these moments. And it may be stuff we already know, but for hearing someone at that level, what he's doing, it makes a massive impact. And I think this is a conversation, because sometimes we're just talking about what we're doing in our own businesses. This conversation fires me up because this is the truth. This is the stuff I hold on to the most, at the adversity I've been through, the challenges I've been through, and what I came out like on the other side. Because that's the shit that most people have been through. And the people that say they haven't, the people that have gone through a challenge, either A, they haven't done enough, they haven't tried hard enough, or B, they're just lying and they're standing on a moral high ground that isn't real.
Yeah, they ain't even tried.
They haven't even tried.
Yeah, hey, so I want to say, we're going to end on this. I'm going to ask you guys a question. What's your favorite movies? The ones that start out with the rich parent that give their kids all their money and their kids have no problems in life and they just go spend money their whole life and they never have any issues? Or something where somebody starts out in a tragic event and it's tough and it's hard and they're living in their car, but then they change their life and they work their way out of the gutter and then they end up becoming something special.
Rocky?
Yeah.
Yeah, we like the Rocky.
Yeah,
movies.
so you know what? This conversation we just had is that everybody can have a Rocky in their life.
Dude, yeah, and if you've been through some adversity and you've felt this and you've been through trouble in your past, this is something you should be sharing.
Yeah.
Share this, blow this up, let other people see the message, because this is the truth.
Oh my God.
So if you own your shit, you can change your shit. You taught me that, and that really stood out to me.
Yeah, so lastly, we're going to take the gun, okay? You got a gun, that's your past, and we're going to empty the bullets out of it, and we're going to give it to the competition. We're going to say, here you go. Here's an unloaded gun, because I'm going to spray my bullets to the world. I'm going to tell everybody of all the things that I did wrong, and now I'm going to go do right. Watch me. And they're like, yeah, but I already told everybody. Watch me now. And they're like, shit. Yeah, so we're not hiding nothing. I did it all. Matter of fact, whatever I told you I did was probably 10 times worse. But I owned it. Now we're kicking some ass.
Fucking go, baby.
Now you guys are going to kick ass. All right, guys, we love you. Have a blessed day. If you don't know my boy right here, Alex of Spartan Solar, make sure you go follow him. Alex H. Smith on Instagram. He's a badass. He's got a team of $500 billion company. Guy's an animal. He's just savage. So you guys can follow him. He's super cool. He's always with me all the time. Scottsdale, Arizona. Love you guys. See you next time.
Be a gangster. Be a gangster.